Man, it's sunny outside. That's not something that you're going to hear from a lot of people, especially here in Ohio, right? Wanted to talk to you today just a little bit about vitamin D. Some of you have heard me talk about this before, but I want to go over it again because it really could be key to your success. So I have a little bullet point here that comes from research, and it's things that aren't always like put out and information told to you. So I wanted to explain it just a little bit. Okay. So stay with me here for a few minutes because, vitamin D, really, some researchers are saying it should actually be considered more essential and having a hormonal impact rather than a vitamin. And most people that are here in this area, they say that over 50% of people are actually vitamin D deficient, okay? And of course, the only way to really truly know that is to go to your doctor and get a simple blood test. For example, I was just talking to someone today who said, yes, they went to their doctor, got a blood test, and they were like, oh my gosh, I was so deficient in vitamin D, and they really didn't have any idea. Because here's the thing. The recommended daily allowance, like the RDA that you'll find on a lot of labels from the FDA, they have certain guidelines, but they're not in alignment with what current researchers, and when I say researchers, I mean nutritionists, different PhDs, MDs, and so forth. If you do a little Google search on vitamin D, you're going to see a lot on this topic. Now, keep in mind, not everyone is 100% in agreement, but currently the RDA, the recommended daily allowance for vitamin D, is only 400 international units. Okay, so 400 international units. So if you look on the back of a vitamin label and it says, your multivitamin says 100% of your recommended daily value, a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm good, I'm taking that. But here's the big but. Researchers are saying that most people need an extra 2,000 to 5,000 international units extra of vitamin D a day, okay? And some people are prescribed as much as 10,000 international units of vitamin D extra a day, okay? I've really researched this topic over the past 2 to 3 years, and I always like to say that I like to experiment with myself, and I will tell you that since upping my vitamin D, and in addition to following the Arbonne Clean Eating Program, that's why I'm so passionate about it, and healing my inside, that I can honestly tell you the past 2+ years, my mood has been so much better, and I don't get the common cold. I cannot even tell you when the last time was I had a common cold. And that's one of the things that they're saying, is that vitamin D is more important than they realize, and that they think that vitamin D has an integral part in over 200 bodily functions, not just bones, okay? So bones and vitamin D, they always recommend, especially for women, because of estrogen. And again, that's why some researchers are saying that vitamin D might need to be considered and looked at more as having a hormonal property and not just being a vitamin, okay? And that when you look at places that are near the equator, that people who have higher vitamin D levels, there's a lot less disease. So they've been putting this in connection for the past years, okay? So, more than 50% of people are vitamin D deficient, but that's a gray area too, because they're trying to really see what levels people need. But again, if you live somewhere like this and you don't get a lot of sunlight, you're more likely to be vitamin D deficient. Also because sunscreen, so it's possible for people who even live, in sunny places like Florida, if you use sunscreen all the time, they're saying that interrupts with your vitamin D production. And yes, it helps, it has a hormonal reaction. So you're supposed to get 20 minutes a day of bare skin exposure to sunlight, and that means, open skin, no sunscreen. And a lot of us aren't doing that because we've become, phobic of the sun, also because of cancer. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you. I've talked to other people. I've done research myself. I've read books. I've done seminars. Do a simple Google search yourself. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that vitamin D is fat soluble, which means it's stored in your fat. Therefore, vitamins A, D, E, and K are considered your fat soluble vitamins. And so it's possible that you could take too many in and actually get a toxic buildup. Okay, so that is why it's important to get a simple blood test. So it is possible, it's not usually likely though, but somebody could have a toxic level. But again, most people here are not. So that's why they're recommending that an extra 2,000 to 5,000 extra international units a day of vitamin D. And so that could come, in a simple pill form like this. Okay, I prefer to use drops because they're easy to absorb. And like I said, I've been pretty religious. Some days I'll alternate 2 to 5 drops every single day. I even give my kids 1 drop because it's 1,000. I'll give them 1 every other day. Like I said, they said vitamin D, research is saying that it's more important than we think. Things like, colds, moods, and just other 200 body functions. They're like vitamin D has a bigger impact. It's more essential than we think, and to think of it as hormonal. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So even if you're taking a vitamin, a multivitamin, even if you're using all the products and so forth, take extra vitamin D or go see your doctor, because if you suffer from the common cold all the time, or if you feel like you suffer from seasonal affective disorder, which I know I used to not leave my house. Like I said, I'm two winters now, and I know by healing my body through the Arbonne program, making sure I'm taking my Digestion Plus, healing my gut, all the other things, removing other harmful toxins, but I'm also, now my body's able to use these vitamins that I'm giving it. So as an anxiety and depression sufferer, winters have been more bearable for me. Okay, and I'm not joking. I cannot even remember when the last time was that I've been ILL or had a common cold. And I just wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of times we think, oh, well, this says that it's got 100% of our daily value, and other researchers, other coalitions out there saying we really need a lot more. Okay, so if you found this helpful, please give it a like. Talk to your doctor about it, and take a look at your vitamin D levels. And I hope you found this informational, because again, I'm not a doctor, scientist, anything like that. I'm just sharing with you the bullet points of actual research, okay, that I have found, and I'm just sharing my personal experiences on how it's impacted me, and I hope that maybe it can help you too. All right, have a good day.